And now I think we can let you in on a little secret. Our man the Warriors wanted in and said, I want some airtime. I've got some real sharp, funny stuff. On the back of
we'll be the judge of that.
The Wolfpack and our audience know the International Cool Breeze was an overwhelming runaway success when we read excerpts out of the best-selling autobiography of one Brian the Bristleman Taylor, written 3 days after he missed out on the grand final side.
So a touch of the Stevie J's about.
He did have a bit of the.
Are they the Bristle Diaries?
Yeah.
Can I get a copy of Bristle?
Yes.
I'd love to. I've never read them.
I'll bring you all a fresh copy.
It is the best book ever, and we read.
We made
Damo
a serial,
used to
didn't
pick
we?
them
In
out.
2009 it was.
Our
we
audience
did it
just
every week.
ate it up. So Damo has stumbled across a new reading, I think, of which he's going to share with us tonight in his new segment, Golfy.
In the tradition of the Cool Breeze Diaries comes the Chieftain's Chapters.
Why are you laughing, Brian?
A little bit of monkey noise
This
in the
is
background.
a book called The Gollicking, Jason
He
Dunstall's
didn't call his book
own
The Gollicking.
story,
Good.
written
Oh,
by the
he couldn't
prolific book
Hang on,
writer
let's-
Ken
let's-
Peace.
let's have a
The
talk about
Gollicking,
the title there.
Jason Dunstall's own story, and
The
Snorkel is putting a copy of that photo up onto the Twitter handle. As a publication,
You know, Warrior, better than anyone what writing is like. You don't
Did
get
you-
to pick the headlines and the
did you
titles
call
there.
it that? Goal
In your own
King,
book,
is
you do.
No, you don't.
you're still playing Chief
When
in
they-
1995.
Overruled by the
When
editor
they
and
come
the
to you
sub-editor.
for the tick-off and they say it's going to be called the Goal King, you go, yep, I'll tick that off.
No, I actually said, was there anything with more cachet? And they couldn't come up with it.
You're looking stoically into the sky
Well
on
coiffed,
the, on
too. Look
the
at the
front
hair.
cover photo,
It's
and
Donald
got a lot of
Trump
hair, and there's a lot of
style.
photos in there. The diving bell helmets in the book.
Is it?
Anyway, this came across the desk during the week, and I've just been perusing through it, and just thought I'd bring it to attention. I'll refer to a chapter halfway through the book where the Hawthorn players are in London. They're having a rollicking time,
You
Gaz,
be
on
very
this
careful
particular
here,
trip.
Warrior, because I work closely with you on a number of different platforms, and unlike Brian, who couldn't catch you, if Chief gets a hold of you and doesn't like what you read out, that'll be the end of you
So
for the year.
they've played a game in London, and Dermot's doing what Dermot does. He set off a few firecrackers here and there, and they're having all sorts of good old-fashioned fun. And then someone had organised for Alec Bedser, the famous English cricketer, to have a chat to the boys, and I'll pick up the reference here with
A little bit of background music, Golf. or not?
True to form, we'd had a big day, and when we got into the dining room, it was sweltering, and you could tell that a few of the boys were starting to hit the wall. Alex started talking, and while some of it was no doubt interesting, a lot wasn't.
Oh, no.
He's a lovely old gent, but he rarely raised the tone of his voice more than a quaver, and began too long. A few of the blokes started to yawn, and a few heads began to wobble. Within minutes, it appeared that half the audience had nodded off. Talk about a chain reaction. It was agreed that it was the single most boring speech ever given in the history of after-dinner speaking.
Oh, come on, Alec.
So he's given Alec Bedser a nice little clip there. Same chapter. On the same trip, we all managed to get into the Hippodrome, one of the trendiest of London's nightclubs.
see the
It's a
chief there.
split-level nightclub, and we took a lot of time exploring and checking out the sights.
Nooks and crannies.
Up on one balcony, doing the same thing as us, was this extremely tall Negro girl,
Oh.
done up to the nines in a long evening dress, with all sorts of accompanying jewellery and bangles.
Goodness.
One of the boys sighted her and started pointing. Everyone started looking then.
Who's that?
Unhappy at suddenly being the centre of the fuss, she swore at us and lifted up the front of her dress to expose a full set of male genitalia.
Oh, come on.
So that's just
Is
the
that in
sort
the
of
book, Bob?
This is
references
not in
we've
the-
got in
not in the Goal
Goal
King.
King, Jason Dunstall's own story. And there's a couple of other
Well, if that was
references we
gonna
might
be
just bring you between now
Grace
and the
Jones or
close of
someone,
the
was it?
season.
Bit of the crying game, Chief.
It's not as good as your book, BT, but there's a little few nuggets in here.
The
Very
goal,
bland stuff.
the Goal King. I look forward to more, don't
Jason Dunstall's own story
Yeah.
with Ken Peace.
I? Absolutely look forward to more.
Yes.